Well, hello, beautiful people. Hope all is well. It's Sunday. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your family. Welcome back to the channel. I am your guy, your friend, your sports guy, Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Appreciate you for spending time with me today. It's not only the holiday season, it's the most wonderful time of the year because it's the college football playoff. It's a 12 team playoff, and the first round games wrapped up on Saturday. What was supposed to be the most anticipated weekend of college football, all four games turned out to be duds. So, in what a lot of people thought was going to be the games of the weekend, turned out to be a disaster. No way to sugarcoat it. I was so disappointed. It wasn't really that enjoyable to watch the games. That's my main takeaway from these games. Zero intrigue. Now I don't know how to feel about the matchups for the next round. But let's talk about the Indiana Notre Dame game. That was the first game of four. History was made as Indiana made it to the college football playoff, finishes year one of the Kurt Signetti era, 11-2, the best start in school history in the first ever 12-team college football playoff. Notre Dame ended Indiana's historic season, advances to the college football playoff quarterfinals. Two plays altered the game in a significant way. I'm fully convinced a two-play sequence completely decided the game. That interception by Kurt Warwick completely changed the entire momentum of the game. I think had Indiana scored on that possession, on that drive, it's a completely different game. In just two plays, Indiana's chance to make it a game went out the window. The pick and a 98-yard rushing touchdown. Game over. Nothing else to see. And I was saying it early as I was looking on that Curtis Warwick needed to settle down, calm down, and just play his game. I thought early it was early game jitters, nerves, excitement. Warwick was a no-show. He was an absolute no-show. And we talked about Warwick and that he's been so good all season, which made his performance so shocking. The moment was too big for him. Warwick, as you know, picked a bad night to have his worst game of the season, missing wide open throws. He never misses. There were a few times where he missed on a critical third down. I just think the lights were too bright, and being on the big stage, he just couldn't shine in the spotlight. I was, you know, I just think it's the fact that he didn't show up. It was just a bit out of character. But look, man, it's demoralizing. And how crazy is it? They got an interception off Riley Leonard. They get the short field. They convert on third down, and then Warwick throws that pick. It was a poor pass by Curtis Warwick. Xavier Watts, as he usually does, gets that interception, and then for Love to go 98, that's a momentum killer. That's deflating. Then almost suddenly Indiana looked completely outmatched as Notre Dame really dominated the line of scrimmage of the football game. But you just have to wonder if Indiana even gets a field goal there, and it's 3-0, not 7-0. The other way, how different maybe this game could have been. I just think for a team that has dominated and never really played from behind for much of the season, that's tough for them to overcome. And then the way Kurt Signetti reacted, talking like he's a politician or a pro wrestler that morning, I believe it was that morning on game day talking all big and bad. And I get it. You come into any game, any matchup with a great deal of confidence. You go in believing you can beat anybody, but it wasn't their night. It wasn't happening on this night. The game was not even close. And not being battle tested during the season will always lead to this. Signetti's team just didn't execute, had a killer turnover, and never found their footing offensively. Indiana's offense came out and literally did nothing, absolutely no juice. Not much offense, a few chances, none scored, just non-existent. Entire offense was asleep, bad throws, drops, no run game, and doing nothing with multiple opportunities. Disappointing is an understatement. The head-scratching play calling on offense, which has been questionable, that was tough to watch. Couldn't run the ball, unforced errors, O-line overwhelmed, gave up the big play, and never regained their composure quickly enough to make the game competitive. Awful, awful game plan. I don't understand why you would run on every first down. Gutlessly conservative decisions from the head coach. The quarterback is out there having a panic attack. There was, of course, plenty of respect on Warwick's name before this game, but there were a lot of people who felt Indiana didn't belong in the playoffs. They earned it. It was well deserved. It was just a bad night, and after sleepwalking through the season, it got harder to convince the nation with a straight face that they belonged on this big stage. I can confidently say they had a memorable, historic year, and that Curt Cignetti and Warwick put a basketball school on the map. Warwick seemed to be trying too hard to connect on the deep ball, and it hurt the offense. Inconsistent decision making from the coach, from being too hesitant to being too conservative, contribute to the disappearance of the offense. Indiana players were overmatched. And another thing I will say, it's hard to beat Notre Dame if you can't run a faster pace offense and can't muster any offense on big downs or convert to keep the offense on the field. Then there's Notre Dame. Listen, up front, Riley Mills in particular, I just thought up front getting Howard Cross, the third back, that helped. Defensive coordinator Al Golden had some timely blitzes. With all of that, it's no wonder Notre Dame controlled the line of scrimmage and had their way on defense. It's no wonder they attacked the interior of that Indiana offensive line and had a ton of success. You saw a lot of speed coming off the edge, 10 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Indiana just had no chance blocking Notre Dame up front, and it really took away their offense. And for Curtis Warwick, he started slow and never sped up and was never really able to get going with all that pressure he was dealing with. Great win for Notre Dame. But before I wrap this up, I would like to acknowledge the season Indiana had. We know they didn't have great wins because their schedule didn't afford them great opportunities within their conference, but they still won the games. And they didn't just win, they dominated. We can't ignore the year they had, but in a meaningful game, they found themselves down by a bunch, and that's difficult when you haven't faced that challenge all year up until Friday. Finding yourself in deep water and never being able to keep your head above water in a game of that magnitude, it's extremely difficult. On the road and what was an electric atmosphere, the Notre Dame fans really brought it. And you're dealing with an outstanding defense. And this crowd that's breathing down your neck, it's loud out there. The defense is coming at you. It's tough. And once they found themselves getting down multiple scores, and I know they had a lot of success, and this offense has been high flying all year, but that was uncharted territory. This game could not have gone better for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman. His team um, dominated that football game as Indiana's season came to an end. But there's reason to believe Indiana will be in contention next season as the program will only get better. That's a great program over there. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the content. Thanks for if you are subscribed already to the channel. Thank you guys so much. That means a lot to me. You guys know where you guys can find me. You guys can find me all over the place. I'm on Facebook. Look up the Sports Judge page if you haven't liked and followed it already. You guys can check me out on Instagram, SportsJudge85. Check me out on TikTok. I'm active on TikTok. You guys got enough time to follow me there. They most likely going to shut down that platform at the start of next year. We'll see what happens with that. But you guys can, in the meantime, you guys can follow me there, the Sports Judge 85. But guys, it's been fun. I'm wrapping this up now. I got some things to do. Got a few errands to run. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about college football and the playoffs and give you guys my thoughts on that Indiana and Notre Dame game. And I'll be back sometime today with a Penn State SMU recap, and I want to break that down as well, and then we'll talk about Texas and Clemson sometime soon as well. But you guys take care. You guys have a great day and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Talk to you guys again very soon.